Playing on Sunday.
They will play on Sunday.
Play on Sunday.
What are you expecting? What are the expectations, or realistic expectations for Jackson making his first NFL start?
We'll see. I think like all of us, right? We didn't see him in the preseason, having that opportunity, to get him suited up and ready to play in the first 2 games. And he had a really good week of practice last week. And if you watched the game, he was one of the biggest guys, getting everybody pumped up on the sideline. So, just that energy, that fountain of youth, and obviously that aggressiveness that he has. Looking forward to seeing it. And I think like all of us, when he gets in the game, my eyes will be right to him.
You've talked about Maxx being a bit of a freak when it comes to recovery and getting through this stuff. It looked bad on Sunday. How has he reacted through the week, and do you expect any limitations? I know he won't come off the field even if he's told to, I guess.
He hasn't missed any practice, so regardless of what I want to do, I got to fight 98 and everything that he does. But the ultimate warrior, you see it with the stats this year. He hasn't missed a snap, and I don't expect him missing Sunday either. I don't expect him missing Sunday.
I'm not going to speculate on Devon Diablo's health. However, whether he can play or not, obviously you've been with Luke Masterson since he became a Raider. Can you just talk about his development and the reps he could take?
Yeah, Luke he's that third wheel, right? If we had a tricycle, he's that third guy, and you can just kind of plug away both at Mike and our money and Will linebacker position. So with the Diablo, more than likely probably will not play. Luke will be there, and he'll step up, and he'll do a good job. He's started and played in a lot of games over his 3 years as a Raider, and he's somebody that's really dependable. He's one of our 4 core special teams guys, and really, a true just hard hat mentality player that we kind of need for a game like this.
There could be some additional opportunity for Tommy Eichenberg as well. I know you're saying Bastion's next up on defense, but just for depth purposes and on special teams with Eichenberg playing more.
Yeah, he's getting there. Because Tommy missed that month in training camp and then a little bit in the preseason, so he's getting closer and closer. Just want to see a little bit more on special teams before we make that decision.
You talked about the struggles in offense a little bit, but how do you feel about you guys lead the league in explosive pass plays this year? So you got to think there's still some good stuff going on.
One of the more damning stats, right? You can't run the ball, then you can throw the ball down the field. So didn't see that one coming, but really credit to our guys. Gardner and our wide receivers. Just when there are opportunities there to make plays, we've been making them. Good job playing pitch and catch, and really we left a lot more meat on the bone. I'm sure a lot of coaches say that, but it's reality. There's some guys that's open, and we just, whatever happens in breakdown, we don't make those plays. But really positive to see that. I think we'll see that early in the season. Expected the opposite, expected more explosive running plays and things of that nature. And still, the first course of the season, you see it throughout the National Football League. A lot of teams struggling offensively and trying to find their identity and their way, and I think we're one of those teams.
I know you want your identity as a team to be the tough nose, the running game, that kind of thing. Are you okay if it's, hey, let's just throw the ball downfield and that's who we are?
Well, we want to win. Bottom line is win. That's the bottom line that we're all going to get judged off of. And if it's not working that day, you got to fix it. And that's what was good about this week. Guys, starting with our staff, myself, the offensive coaches, we got to take accountability first and foremost before we point the finger at our offense and our O-line and running backs and running game. It starts with us. We got to put these guys in a better position to play. Then they got to go out and execute. So, the identity is never going to change. Yeah, we want to be physical. We want to run the ball. We want to be tough, all those things. But at the end of the day, we want to win. And if we got to win and it's throwing for 300 yards or 250 or 270, whatever we threw for against Baltimore, that's what it'll be. And, the plan this week is hopefully have a balanced attack and grow off of that, what we did last week.
Antonio, since you've taken over the team, the Raiders have been last in the league in penalties, last in the league in penalty yardage. Or I guess you can flip that and say first.
Can you say first because last doesn't sound right?
What does that say about the buy-in?
I think being unselfish. Again, I'm going to give credit to the coaches and the players. We do a lot of individual. We spend 20 minutes at the beginning of practice on individual and fundamentals and technique and just kind of buying in. And again, really to me, the biggest thing is pre- and post-snap penalties. That we want to avoid. Sometimes in football things happen. You get a little touchy, a little grabby, holding. That's the nature of the beast. But I think it's really the credit to our guys of how we need to win games. And being the least penalized team is one of those ways. Not turn the football over. His number is right up there as 1 and 2. So if we can keep doing that and now put those turnovers away and get the running game going, we can play some really good Raider football here.
Whatever the statistics say, about the Carolina Panthers, when you watch film, what do you think are some things that you have to worry about when you game plan against them?
Man, it's the National Football League. We can say what we want to the record. If we was 0-2, we'd be being talked about like them. But again, I'm going to go start with the quarterback. Andy Dalton's played a lot in this league. He's seen everything. It seems like wherever he goes, he finds a way and gets that team going at some point. So you look at a veteran, savvy leader there. Offensive line-wise, they've invested a lot at the 2 guard positions in free agency. They drafted some tackles. They got guys there. I think at the end of the day, man, you never know who's going to play their best football and their worst football on Sunday, so we got to expect their best. They're coming across country. They're hearing what we heard last week, so we just don't want to be the victims of that.
I know it's early, but what have you seen from Christian and Max as far as their stunts and their communication up in front?
Good, just good chemistry. It's no different, right? When the D line is, you get used to playing that guy, and it's really cool that they're always, left on our left side. Max moves around a little bit, but just to see that, because some of those calls and things that you're seeing in the game, that's just them naturally hearing and seeing what's happening post snap, and I think that's really good by those two gentlemen being able to read and talk and communicate. Obviously, the sack that was them two guys playing football, and it was legit. It was balanced. It was what we worked on and teach, but at the end of the day, they got to execute. And I think it's unselfish play by Christian because there's no sacks there, right? There's not a lot of stats. We talk about Maxx Crosby, AFC Player of the Week. A lot of that's coming because of what's happening with Christian. Christian's demanding too, right? He's taking that center and guard with him, or it's the guard and tackle, whatever it may be. And that's freeing up Max, and we're getting these one-on-one opportunities, and Max is making the most out of it.
2 weeks into the new kickoff rule, a lot of touchbacks we've seen around the league. What have you seen about it? And also, is it for you guys? Is it more game plan specific? Is it what you see on tape about your opponent, what you want to do?
Yeah, I mean, I think first and foremost, our special teams unit and Tom McMahon want to be aggressive. I want to be aggressive because if we tackle them inside the 30, that's a plus for us, right? If we kick the ball off and they get a holding penalty, now they're backed up inside the 20. You've seen that in the National Football League as well. So it does depend on week by week the opponent. Hey, if they got a threat back there, we're not gonna be silly. We gotta play football, right? So as much as we want to pound our chest and be, have that ego about ourselves of covering every kick, we also got to be respectful to our defense, and put them in positions to win. So I think it just collectively, you look at everything in the whole. This week, a really good returner, 7 or so in his career. So we got to be smart with him as well. So we'll see how the game's going. But I'll tell you one thing: our guys love to cover, they love to run and hit, and we try to attack the football as much as possible.
You had McAllister down last week. Is that a product of, hey, if they're not going to kick to him anyway, like what?
No, that has nothing to do with McAllister. I mean, he's working his tail off each and every week, getting better and better. You just look at the rash of injuries we had. It's, you're only going to have so many guys up.
Coach, I apologize if you've been asked. I know you guys have been back for a couple of weeks now, but the rotation of players in the locker room, the changes of the lockers from one end to the other, and the new toys in there. Can you talk a little bit about?
Yeah. I mean, that's their playhouse, right? You've been in there more than me, put it like that. We supply the toys and the things that they want. But it's really, man, when they have their opportunity to be in the locker room and to be away from the meeting room or the training room or the strength and conditioning room, that's their place. And however they want to unwind and be competitive, those are still competitive toys that we have in there. I think it's just a good way. We've done a really good job here in the off season, even in the season when we've had off days, we've had multiple people in the building. So it's just another way to kind of keep these guys comfortable, relaxed, and at ease when they're in their territory, their locker room, because you don't want to ever pull back that curtain. That's their world. But the number change and moving guys around is just, trying to get, you always see offense and defense. You got to interact with one another. You can't be a team if you just sit next to the D-line room all day. So I think in here, for example, like Max is next to Big Mike, I believe it is, right? And maybe another offensive player and Tyree Wilson, and just moving some of our younger guys around to be with a veteran presence, right? So maybe that little 5 or 3 minute conversation they can have, that can go a long way for us down the road.
Tyree, this last week with that knee injury, do you think it's a good chance he can get back out there this week?
Yeah, he'll play this week.
Coach, the defense has performed well over the first 2 games. Where are you hoping, or where do you think they can get better at?
Run defense. Not good enough. 6.1 average, that's not us. Obviously, explosives really come into that. Can't take it away, but if we did, it would be a really good defense. But we got to be more sound throughout the game. The last 2 weeks in the first half, we come out like raging bulls, and we've been very stout against the run. And that third quarter, got some leaky yardage and some explosive plays, so we really want to take that away. And like I told these guys, attention to detail is a big focus for us this week.
I know you're focused on Carolina and football in general, but as an LA guy and an athlete, what Ohtani did this year was incredible.
Who was that?
What Ohtani did in LA this year was incredible. Did you have any thoughts on what he accomplished?
No, that's cool. Big time, obviously, the Dodger fan is just, I wish we could have made it to a game when we was out there, but, it's our time of the season. But, love to see when being an LA guy, those guys are doing well.
Will Kiss is a big Dodger fan.
No, I saw the head. I just saw the little shake of the head. Got to keep him off camera, man. You messing all day.
Are you seeing Gardner more comfortable, more of that Washington State Gardner, as Max called him on Sunday?
I saw it in the fourth quarter. Yeah. Saw it in the fourth quarter, and that's what we've been asking for. And I told him that from day one, the day he came up to the office, and told him he's the quarterback. I said, be you, man. Be you. Whatever that is. Just don't, the flip-flop things throw me off sometimes, but just be you. Just be you. Whatever your personality is, let that come out. I can't do the roller coaster stuff with personalities and emotions. And I think he finally, just came out of his shell and took it off. And, between him and our skill players, it really made a lot of plays. And to be honest, yesterday, and you hear this a lot, yesterday was our best practice in a long time, offensively, in a long, long time. It was really crisp. A lot of energy, speed was up. Guys were running around having fun. So we need to carry that on into Sunday.
Coach, I know you said you knew how good Brock was in training camp and try to keep it under wraps, how the secret's kind of out. Did you get a chance to hear Rob Gronkowski say he thinks Brock could even surpass him as a pass catching tight end? What do you think that says about Brock?
Well, if you want to give us some Super Bowl rings and some other stuff, yeah, we'll take that. But I think it's just a compliment to the play that you're watching, the play style. I think we all see the receptions, but like I said, I see the physicality. I see the guy that wants to be involved in the run game and block. Those are unselfish things, right? Anybody wants to just go out there and catch balls all day, but he's doing everything else to help us win and put our offense in position. And the one thing about him, like, he doesn't care. Like, you see his hair, he's kind of wild. Like, it's good to see somebody that's just kind of like a little throwback, you know what I mean? And in a position where it's a glamorous position now, is getting into with these tight ends, but he's a true throwback mentality. And I think as we keep growing as a team, he keeps growing. Again, the sky's the limit, but we can't sit there and put a crown him day one as the greatest of all time. He knows that. I know that.
You were in New York with Shockey, right?
Nature boy, yeah.
And he had a pretty big impact early on.
No, he was huge. I played against him his first 2 years, and when I became his teammate in 2005, it was just me and his locker. We called it death row. Nobody else made it on in that row but me and him. But the energy that he brought, the toughness. Again, I'm gonna go back to it. Everybody remembers Shockey's rookie year, run after catch. That's Brock, man. Like, it's a running back with the ball. He has ill intent when he's running with it. It's really good to see. And like I said, I'm not gonna really compare him to Shockey yet. I don't think that's fair. I think he's different. He's this new age hybrid type tight end. You look at his body type, not the biggest guy. Is he the fastest guy? He's always open. And I know he can catch the hell out the ball.